Well, hello and welcome to Abu Dhabi. This is round one of the 2019 FIA World Rallycross Championship. We are live for qualifying 4, and the unfolding drama is whether this car and this driver will make it out, because they did not finish the qualifying 3 after a massive incident. Let's have a quick replay of what happened between Andreas Backerud and Timmy Hansen in qualifying 3. So really, really big, very, very heavy impact. So a very, very heavy impact. Both drivers winded, as you can see as we come back to us in the RX Cartel garage. Andreas Backerud is having to help repair the car. He looks okay, but obviously a little bit shaken. So Backerud, a little bit black and blue. Obviously having to work on the car because this car should be due on the pre-grid any second. Look, there's an entire suspension wheel mount brake system going there. So this is unfolding because, of course, Timmy Hansen, we have heard that Timmy Hansen's garage, the Hansen garage is just over there, about 50 meters that way, and they have had to retire from the event. The roll cage on the door side of Timmy Hansen's Peugeot is too damaged, so they've had their license to race this weekend withdrawn. They're not very happy. We need to try and talk to, you can see that they're trying to fill up the cooling system. The water is pouring out of the bottom. And of course, there's only a limited number of nominated mechanics who can work on it, so the driver can become one of the mechanics in these situations. So Liam's car over here, the space is empty onto the right, so Liam's car has already gone to take its place on the grid. Now we just need to see if this car will make it to the grid. Working very hard, some improvising going on there. There's a hammer trying to open up the wheel arch. So much damage to that car after that, very heavy. We understand that Timmy is okay. So just being told there by Clayton, 6 minutes to start line. First of all, that was a heavy impact, Andreas. Are you all right? You look a little bit shaken.
Yeah, of course. That was my hardest impact in my life. So I'm so sorry to Timmy, to the Hanson family, and also our team that I didn't calculate the laps well enough. I thought it was the finish line, and I actually lifted a little bit, and I don't know what happened.
Okay. So there you go. Good luck, Andreas. So there you go. The truth is from Andreas is that he thought it was the final lap, so a miscommunication. So he didn't brake. He was going for the finish line, which means you don't have to make the left-hander. And that was the speed he was carrying when he hit Timmy Hansen. So he's got 5 minutes now to get this car to the pre-grid. In that time, let's go up to Andrew Coley and Dan Rook to have a little breather and have a look back at what happened in qualifying 3.
We need a breather. We've just run back from the paddock. So we've been around the paddock. We've spoken to the teams, and I think it's fair that we wait until they make their statements. We had our thoughts on it, which was that we didn't think he had taken off enough speed. Andreas has confirmed that he hadn't taken off enough speed. You know, this has all happened very quickly, Dan. I suspect people are still thinking they need to have a look back at the data and figure out exactly what happened.
Yeah, of course. It's all come around so fast, and, well, it was so unexpected. No one, the thoughts of everyone around the paddock, everyone's quite surprised that it's happened. So everyone's still going to be taking a bit of time to process it, and I'm sure it will start to calm down soon, and we'll get a bit of a clearer reason of why it happened.
So trying to get the front right corner back on the Audi. The Peugeot will not be out, as you've heard. So that's Timmy Hansen, who'd won both the qualifying sessions so far this weekend. Won't be coming to the grid. Andreas Backerud, will he make it? Literally seconds, minutes ticking away. Andreas is going to climb into the car, helmeted up and ready to go in the hopes that they can get the car back together. Remember, there's a limit of 5 mechanics per car. So only 5 people. You might see an armband. You can see it, in fact, the green armband there on the back of the technician's waistband. You have to have one of those on your on yourself if you're working on the car. Look at the fluids, Dan, pouring out of the bottom of this car. This is transmission fluid, surely. Mind you, wrong side for gearbox, is it? Not sure.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about this car, but obviously,
unless it's a crack. Yeah, don't know. Either way.
Obviously, when we saw the car come back in, that whole corner was off, drive shaft and all. So we've got the drive shaft pulled out of the car. It could be.
So it could be transmission fluid coming out the side of the diff. Yeah, fair enough. So it could be. So that could be fixable, is what we're saying, basically.
Yeah.
But they really don't have long to get the car to the grid. Absolutely a race against time. You can see the other cars on the grid and good to go. Look, Rainy Snittish getting into the car, helmet going on. In fact, there's a couple, so they're working on, is it Cyril Raymond's car they're working on the grid as well, and the heat in which they're working is just incredible. So you can see the tent doors are open in the background there, so the air conditioning won't be working in that tent. And these guys are absolutely flat out. Dan, I'm trying to think where the brake lines come in on that car as well. Like I was looking, is that a brake coupling which is coming out the side of the inner wheel arch on the Audi? If it is, then they've got a brake bleed to do as well.
Yeah, that could well be the case.
You know, there's a lot of work. You know well, having worked on your own cars as well. There is a lot of work to do. This isn't just stick another wheel on. We've torn off what? All the suspension, the strut, the drive shaft, the steering arm, the brake line, caliper disc.
Yeah, there's so much
roll
damage
bar
gone. Of course, you know, these guys are super organised and they would have had the kit there ready as soon as the car came back in to put it on. But you know, you just can't guarantee there that you can see a guy there gunning up some bolts on the hub, but you know, we're not too sure what's going to go on here.
Neil's in the garage. Let's hear from him.
Well, there's a round of applause from the Backward Blues gathered at the back of the garage. And as you can see, if they manage to drop this car down off the front onto the front wheels and it drives out and makes it to the grid, then at least they can try and get it to the start line. They still have time. These guys, most of them EKS mechanics, working on the Audi. So they really do need to get this. They haven't got a front wheel on yet. And if Bob comes over here, there's a wheel about to go on. Okay, so well, Andreas has strapped him. All right, Andrew Coley, is this car going to make it? I can't see what's happening on the pre-grid, so there's like a strut, suspension strut going in on the front right. They still haven't finished it.
There is fluid pouring out of the back of the sump guard of the Audi on that shot. If we can get the camera lower, I don't know if they can get any lower and see there was fluid pouring off the back of that, which could still be the remnants of things like transmission fluid. But Dan, this also is the kind of time where you're not going to get the transmission fluid back in before the car goes out to the grid.
No, there's so many factors here. It's such a big risk to, you know, put it all back together in such time. You could potentially, you know, miss something, not put enough oil in somewhere, and that could just lead to even further damage than what they've already had to try and fix.
So Backward is in this first race, and if he's not back on the grid in a matter of seconds, he may not be allowed to race. It's going to come down to decision of the stewards basically on the grid as this car goes out. And the first of the cars is tyre warming. From my commentary position, I can see Markman has pulled up to the grid. I don't think he's made it. I don't think he's made it. Paul Tree is about to pull in. So is it only Backward missing from this one? Backward reverses the car out. It's an incredible job by these guys, but are they literally seconds too late to make the final qualifying session? Andreas Backward in P7 after Q3 with the issues. They haven't even had time to fuel it down. Will it even have enough fuel? Normally you finish the race, then the driver goes back for debrief, the car goes off for refuel. Nitish pulls up to the line. The Backward fan club want him to make it. They're there clapping like mad. They're cheering him on. But Andreas is somewhere in the road network between the paddock and the start. They're waiting for him. They're looking at the pictures on the big screen. They're seeing the same pictures at home that you're seeing here. It pulls up to the grid. So surely that means Backward's been withdrawn from this race, surely. If Bennett's not out, Bennett rolled the car, so we don't know if Bennett's back out. If Bennett isn't back out, then that reduces the numbers and the way that the grid. So Backward's going up to the grid, but he's got to come through the scrutineering bay to get into the track, and it may be that they won't let him race. Let's see what happens.
He's just cut the tyre check there, is he? Or
let's see what happens.
No, he's behind the tent. He is behind the tent.
Liam Doran is up there as well. So Liam Doran's up there. They're still working on the car. Look, they're taping bits of the bonnet on. So is Backward going to make it or not? What are the stewards going to have to say? What are we seeing on the screen? Reprimand, car number 33, steward's decision. Who's 33? Doran.
So
why is Liam been given a
Scheider at contact?
Okay, fair enough. So Doran's been given a reprimand. Backward trying to make his way to the grid. Well, unbelievable. Andreas Backward is going to make it to the grid with seconds to spare. We must have had retirements because we did have 5, 5, 4 and 3 on the grids, and we've got 5 lining up now. So I'm guessing Bennett isn't coming back out, possibly somebody else. Either way, the story is Backward, unbelievably, has made it to the grid. Is that car going to last in this heat here in Abu Dhabi. Anton Markland on the inside, Paul Tree next to him, Gulan Shisharit, Rainis Nitish, and unbelievably, Andreas Bakker, P7 after Q3. I think he needs to finish this one if he's going to make it. Let's see.
إذا مشاهدينا نستكمل مجريات مرسيدس في أبو ظبي مع السباق الأول للحصة التأهيلية الرابعة. 5 سيارات تأخذ شارة الانطلاق في الوقت الحالي وينطلق السباق. إذا أنتم ماركلون يتصدر بالوقت. Well, Anton, it must have been quite difficult to keep your composure as the race was delayed and then you had to start, but a good result.
Yeah, I mean, once again, we were first out of turn one, which is crucial for the time in the end. And after that, Megane RS-RX was working perfectly fine. I was really happy with the handling on the track. And now I just really hope that we have a good position for the semifinals, because I feel we're on fire, and I hope we can do a real good result here.
Well, I don't know what's happened today, but it's quite chaotic out there. There's mistakes, big accidents. I guess if you just keep composed, you can have a really good result today.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about trying to keep out of collisions all the time. Unfortunately, I was a bit in collisions in Q3 together with Nittis. He was playing it really, really smart. On the second last corner, he tried to go around all of us when Timmy was slow. And when he came in, we touched front wheel to front wheel, and I lost my steering wheel. It went full steering to the right, and both went into the tire wall. And it was, seriously, it was really bad. It was not on purpose from my side. We lost both of us, and but I'm really sorry for Rainis in that situation, and I just hope that both of us can come through to the semifinals.
Thank you very much. Good luck.
Thank you.
Just spinning round for a quick look at the caution countdown. I know you guys get to see us twirling around quite a bit. Spotters are down here to our left or right when we're looking at the track. I'm surprised it made it round for the entire full lap, considering that wheel was off.
Yeah, it's surprising. I mean, I think I just saw it come off the car as it came up and jumped on the lap. So Andreas nudged the car around, thankfully to the best, but just tipped it just too hard.
الكثير من العمل اللي يقوم به لإعادة إصلاح السيارة مرة أخرى كان بغنى عن الحادث الذي تعرض له بكر اليوم، حادث كبير بالفعل ألحق أضرار كبيرة بسيارته وتسبب بأضرار بالجانب الأيسر لسيارة تيمي هانسن الذي كان السائق الأسرع يوم أمس في جولة التأهيلات الأولى والجولة الثانية. إذن لحظة سيارة رقم 44 إلى جانبه نيكلاس جرونهولد، سيارة تويوتا رقم 62 ليام دوران، سيارة رقم 33 أودي والسائقة فريق
So problems for the academy drivers on this first weekend. It's a lot to ask to step up to a supercar. What can they do here against some slightly more experienced drivers? Gronholm, the most improved last year, and has been putting on a hell of a show here this weekend, but not the best start for him. On the inside, Scheider's slightly beaten him away from the line. Cyril Raymond goes across from the outside to the inside, so does Guillaume de Ridder. Cyril Raymond might make it up into P2 here. He just slots back Doran, has to avoid him. Doran with a huge sideways move. De Ridder has a look around the inside. Liam looks up the inside. Can't get it done though. Timo Scheider leads from Gronholm.
Fantastic moves there from Cyril. He got himself out of the trouble of the outside of the grid, tucked himself in and kept it tight around those first two corners, found a gap, and then was just able to launch around the outside, up the inside for the hairpin.
So Scheider leading. Fantastic peddler, isn't he, Scheider? You know, done so many different things. GT racing last year, done DTM before, but he really loves rallycross, Dan.
He's super, super precise. He's so accurate when you watch him. It's just pinpoint perfect, just like you know all the other circuit drivers have had along. Johan Gustafsson, Matthias Ekström, their car control is sublime.
Has he got a say underneath him this year that can allow him to have a charge at the world title? Guillaume de Ridder has jokered. You might have seen in the background that he was really, really sideways in the Clio. So he made a mistake possibly on the entry to the Joker lap. It's off camber, the entry to the Joker, Dan, really hard.
Yeah, very hard. Of course, when you're on off camber, the whole weight of the car is trying to throw you off your ideal line. So you've got to keep it really, you've got to be really patient, keep yourself under, you know, supreme discipline and get yourself into that Joker lap properly.
Scheider comes through that right-hander where the split is, and at the back of the pack. Liam Doran has gone in the Joker, so Doran into the Joker now, comes through that super quick left-hander to come back up, and then on the brakes, he's going to be ahead of de Ridder. Gronholm can't find a way past, can he?
No, he's all over the back of Timo Scheider, but I was just going to say, Cyril Raymond doing a fantastic job to keep with these guys as well, of course. His first event with the GCK Academy team, and, you know, they're not losing it.
How big is the step up? Obviously, Euros is huge, and we've got drivers like Markland and Nitish who are well up for world. But Cyril Raymond has come up from RX2 into Supercar, did really well. You know, he's challenging. I think he took a win, didn't he, last year? Didn't he win at home at Loiac in Euro RX? So he's a rapid driver, but this is full-time World Championship.
Yeah, the pressure that these guys are going to be feeling, although, you know, their team boss has said don't feel any pressure, it's so much easier said than done because these guys will want to impress.
Yeah, I mean, they'll be thinking, obviously, it's not one chance as in one event. I mean, Shisha did actually say he's hoping the programme continues for years. So in theory, they've got that, but they will know whether if they have an absolutely shocking season, it's maybe not going to last. Yeah, so, you know, these guys are... It's going to be hard for them to discipline themselves, to keep themselves fully calm every race, every step of the way. Niklas Gronholm out front. Scheider jokered the previous lap. Gronholm's going to joker on the last one. It's going to come down to who's managed to do the quick laps when somebody isn't in front of them. Gronholm rotates the car beautifully, slots to the right. Perfect timing from him. Scheider on the inside, going to be a super close merge again. So Scheider coming up to the finish line. He's going to slide across just in front of Niklas Gronholm. So he just makes it to take the win. Scheider has done a 3:07.8. But, oh, my goodness me, he's beaten Markland by 16 thousandths of a second, it looks like to me. Wow. It is super close between these guys. You can see the loose gravel down there as well, a couple of holes appearing. Liam Doran on a go-slow. So all sorts of problems for the Monster Energy RX cartel. What can you see, Dan? I think I could see from the commentary position, a front right puncher. I'm not too sure, but you know, the front wheel looks quite deflated there. Here's the result then. Timo Scheider takes it from Niklas Gronholm, Cyril Raymond, Guillaume de Ridder and Liam Doran. And Scheider slots in. Have a look at those times at the top. 16 thousandths of a second between Timo Scheider and Anton Markland. It is super close. It's Gronholm, Raymond. That's a great job by Cyril to get the car right up there. Shisha de Ridder pulled 3. Andreas Backer down in 8th. Wow, going to have to wait until the end of the session to see who's going to make the semis. It is, I can't tell you how hot it is here. It is, I know we keep going on about it. I'm sure at home you're a bit like, shut up about how hot it is, but it is like... Brits abroad, isn't it? Yeah, it is incredibly hot. It's 40 Celsius. Yeah, it's hot. It is hot. So this was at the start. Scheider, super level at between Scheider, Doran and Gronholm. In the end, it was Scheider who got the whole shot.
Cyril there doing a good job to avoid the squeeze, though, into turn one. Of course, they're free abreast. There must have been a hole there for someone. Liam there, super sideways. A lot of smoke bellowing off the back of the car. Maybe pushing it too hard, tyres going off. It is super hot on the surface here. You know, they could be really challenging them.
Neil Cole is down with our race winner, Timo Scheider.
So, Timo, the racing is incredibly tight here. It's like hardly anything between you and Anton Markland at the moment.
Well, in the end, it was a pretty nice fight, I have to say, clean and fair, so that's the most important. So we had now 4 qualifying runs with a decent pace, so now we can focus on the semis.
Very good, thank you, well done.
Scheider happy enough with that result. We've got just one race to go, and in it is Kevin Hansen. So at the minute, he's looking like he might be on for TQ. Where was Kevin after Q3?
I believe he was P2.
Yeah, so of course with his brother was in front of him despite the slow time for Timmy last time out, but Timmy isn't coming out in Q4. So are we going to see Kevin Hansen take his first ever top qualifier here in Abu Dhabi, the first round of the 2019 World Rallycross Championship? 5 cars then on the line, final qualifying race of the first round of the 2019 World Rallycross Championship. Kevin Hansen, Christian Sabo, Yanis Baumanis, Timur Timosyanov and Rokas Bachuska. 2 new tyres on the outside for Baumanis, on the inside for Timosyanov. 5 different cars, 5 different teams. Right, here we go. This is it for qualifying. The marshal gives the final thumbs up. This is going to decide the top 12. Remember, the top 16 gets points. Only the top 12 go through to the semi-finals. And then we get to see who's going to fight it out for the win. Brilliant start, Kevin Hansen. Sabo goes slightly backwards in the middle. Baumanis is going to try and move across, but I think Hansen's got it. Sabo sensible on the brakes. Baumanis gives a squeeze on Sabo. Timosyanov might try and get up the inside, but Sabo's going to hold the inside line on the run down into turn 3. Kevin Hansen has it. Bakuska at the back of the pack.
The dream start here for Kevin Hansen. He could be potentially on his way to his first TQ, and he is not going to be wanting to see much challenge on the back of him. He's going to want a clean race and a clean time.
It was looking, wasn't it, like it was between him, Andreas and Timmy, and with Andreas and Timmy having their problems, Kevin Hansen looking he might take his first ever top qualifier spot in the World Rallycross Championship. Might he take his first ever win? Remember, the only 3 people who've won events here in the World Championship have been Nitish, Backward and Hansen's definitely gone. We don't know if Backward's made the semis or Nitish. Might be that nobody makes the semis who's won an event before.
We could see a brand new winner of a FIA World Rallycross Championship round, and it could be in the form of one of these guys in this final heat race.
Kevin Hansen would absolutely love it. That would make up somewhat with Timmy for a rotten weekend. Timmy Hansen a bit sore, and I say the car definitely going no further this weekend. Sabo has jokered, so's Pachuska. Kevin being chased hard by Baumanis. Brand new car for Baumanis, looks like it's going really well.
Yeah, fantastic evolution for the Start team. They've really taken a step up this year. You can see how much closer they are to the Peugeots and the Hyundais, so fantastic job by them.
Kevin's slightly ragged in the hairpin, Dan. He's having a really big push. Obviously, he desperately wants to take this TQ. Baumanis has gone joker now. That may be to protect from behind if they think that Sabo is gaining on them. But Kevin, yeah, a little bit ragged up in the hairpin.
Oh, it's super close. Oh, Sabo nearly ran 2 deeps on the brakes there, and you see Baumanis just managed to get in front of him. So fantastic job by the Start team.
Yeah, good spotting from them to get Baumanis in early enough to protect that position. So now it's about Kevin Hansen and Timosyanov. Also, can Baumanis make up any time? Is Kevin overdriving to the point where he's losing time? I doubt it. He's a wily competitor, and he will be well aware of the fact that it could be a first TQ. It would be absolutely massive for him. Kevin Hansen up into the hairpin.
We know Kevin's a super smooth driver. Of course, he started his rallycross career in actually Suzuki Swifts in the British Rallycross, where he had to be super smooth and get his lines perfect, and that's followed him through all the way through his career.
Kevin goes through into the final lap in the lead from Baumanis, Sabo, Timosyanov. Bakuska's dropped it. So Bakuska drops it on the brakes. He'll rejoin the circuit, so he misjudged that braking point, and it's so hard down because it is completely blind.
Yeah, exactly, and he maybe could have just not realised he had one more lap to go and just braked too late, realised everyone else was slowing down and just had to get on that.
Kevin Hansen coming round to complete half a lap that could see him the top qualifier here at the first round. Brand new track, first ever top qualifier here, of course, in Abu Dhabi, Yas Marina. onto the standard lap. He's going to come up over the jump. The target time is 3:07.8, and he's done it as a 3:06.2. Kevin Hansen, 3:06.2. I think that's the fastest time of the weekend. So we had 3:06.4 twice yesterday from Timmy. Pretty sure that wasn't beaten. So I think Kevin Hansen might have just done the fastest time of the weekend, 3:06.2. So if he was pushing hard, he certainly wasn't losing time. Takes it from Baumanis, who's quick too. Sabo, Timozyanov, Bachuska. Here's where they slot in. Kevin Hansen wins Q4. Then Scheider, Bakker, Baumanis, Gronholm, Sabo, Raymond and Timozyanov are your top 8 in this session. But of course, what you're all looking to see, and we are too, is who are the top 12? Who makes it through to the semi-finals here in Abu Dhabi? Well, the crowd have enjoyed the race again. There's the Bakker Blue and the Rainis Nittish fan club as well. Look, all in the same grandstand. Having a cool drink. I have to say, I could do one of those. I think I'm going to be pouring a bottle of water over my head. Brilliant start then from Kevin Hansen on the inside, Dan. Absolutely perfect. Look how clever Sabo is as well. You know, a very, very wily competitor. So just dropping in behind, ends up losing a position, but no contact, no carnage. No, he could see that Kevin beside him was got the better start. So he knew if he tucked in behind him, he could maybe create a doorway for himself through the following couple of corners. Oh yeah, they're super close there. I think Zabo maybe running it deep to try and cover off Baumanis, and Baumanis carrying that extra speed from the Joker lap and was just able to get in front, but you know, very lucky there wasn't the contact there. You can see what I mean about Kevin, about having a big push. You know, he's in fact, if he's gone quickest, fastest time of the weekend, you know, incredible job, but he's a little bit more sideways than we normally see from Kevin. Maximum attack. Back Yuska, slightly over maximum attack.
Fantastic there. Lucky to not hit the Armco barrier on the outside. Just managed to get the car rotated and save it.
Kevin Hansen takes the final session. I'm pretty sure he'll be top TQ, top qualifier. He's with Neil Cole now.
So Kevin, that's the quickest time of the weekend, I think. And we're trying to do the maths. We think you might be top qualifier.
That's pretty cool. It was a long time since I was there. I think 2016 back in Barcelona it must have been when I won European Championship. Yeah, nice feeling.
First of all, I just want to ask you how is Timmy after that big impact?
Yeah, I don't want to say too much because I'm quite upset, but he's okay. He has some pain on the left leg, but he's okay, so no need to worry.
Okay, well, good luck in the semis and then hopefully the final.
Yeah, thank you.
And Kevin Hansen does indeed take the top qualifier spot here in Abu Dhabi. He wins Q3 and Q4 after his brother Timmy Hansen, of course, had won the first 2 sessions and then has retired from the weekend. So all 4 sessions going to the Hansen MJP team. Niklas Gronholm in P2. I'm fairly certain that's the highest Gronholm has ever qualified. Scheider in 3rd, Baumanis in 4th. Markland, Sabo, Timozyanov. Rokas Bachuska makes it on his debut in the World Championship. Christian Zabo too. Bakkerad's in. Timmy Hansen has qualified, but we know he won't take part because that car is too badly damaged. So Shishri 11th, Liam Doran is in 12th, but Cyril Raymond will get the jump. It looks like him and Nittish were tied on points, but Cyril Raymond will have got it, I think, on the tiebreaker. So we'll see either Raymond or Nittish going up into P12 because Timmy Hansen won't make it. Timmy Hansen's car is too badly damaged to continue this weekend. Oh, wow. Okay, goodness me. So that was a less carnage session than the one before. Just the semi-finals and finals ago. A brilliant performance by Kevin Hansen, particularly, you know, we know how close that family is. We know how big that crash was. Timmy is a bit sore and a bit upset. You know, but Kevin's done it. He's got the top qualifier spot. Incredible.
Yeah, there's going to be so much emotion in the Hansen tent.
Up and down, yeah.
Up and down, yeah. I mean, me and you both know that they've turned up with such a small team compared to what they have done the last couple of years, and they're really a tight unit now, working so close together. And for them to come out with a TQ after such a bad Q3, they're going to be really happy about that. Yeah, 12 people, I think it is, on that team. And I think last year, the core of the Peugeot Sport team was close to 50. There were events where they brought twice as many as that. So but it's an incredibly tight-knit team. There'll be disappointment, obviously, from Timmy's point of view. On the plus side, they've won all 4 qualifying sessions here, and that does put down a marker. Yeah, Peugeot's, you know, they've shown themselves as the one to beat here at the first round. But, you know, we're still a long way to go. Other teams could do some development, and we'll see what happens.
And looking at those results too, like it's a real jumble of people, isn't it? In terms of where they're sitting, like Niklas Gronholm, like right up in P2, incredible.
Yeah, fantastic job by those guys, and that Hyundai i20 is really showing pace.
So absolutely tons to talk about. We've got the semi-finals and the final to come. It feels like we've had a whole weekend's worth of action already, but cannot wait. That's going to be up later. We'll leave you with Neil Cole.
Thanks, Andrew. Thanks, Dan. Well, unbelievable. What an incredible couple of sessions these have been. Make sure you comment. Tell us what you think about what's happened so far. 2 extraordinary qualifying sessions. And we've still got the semi-finals and the final still to come. Now, when you come back in about a couple of hours' time, the sun will have set and we will be racing under the lights for round 1 of the 2019 FIA World Rallycross Championship. Thanks to you for watching. Make sure you watch it back again to get your opinion straight on exactly what happened. But rest assured, we're going to have some extraordinary action here in a couple of hours' time as World Rallycross continues.